Welcome to the Tonya Hofmann's fabulous TV show. I am your host, Tonya Hofmann, and as always, we have an amazingly fabulous guest star, Ms. Rikki Smith. Hey, Rikki.
Hey, Tonya. Yay!
She is adorable, and you are going to love her. And so make sure you stick around because we got so much, and she has an amazing offer at the end. So stick around. But before we get going, I wanted to remind you, we want you to go out there and change lives from the front of the room. So go to Public Speakers with an S, Association, all spelled out.com to find out how we too can help you get your name known, your message heard, so you can go and change lives. Sound good? Alrighty. So let's go back to Rikki. So Rikki, tell us, how fabulous are things? What do you have going on in your life?
Well, Miss Tonya, I have so many things going on. As every speaker knows, there's always a book to write. There's always a recording to do. There's always updating your website. So I have all of that going on, as well as working on a new presentation that I'm getting ready to do for the military. Whoa! So I'm super excited about that. And with the company Stratus Trains, we are busy. So that is what I have going on right now. Awesome sauce.
What are you doing? What's your video for the training for the veterans?
The veterans is going to be about military transition. For all of the military vets who are watching, especially if they've been in more than 20 years, they know that when they get out of the military, no one understands what they're saying. All those acronyms mean nothing to anybody but them. And so what we try to do is help them transition from that military lifestyle to civilians so they can learn to speak the civilian language. So it's going to be fun. Looking forward to that one.
No, I know. And, you know, a lot of times, and this even comes from people from corporate that decide they want to start their own business, that transition point is often really tough.
It is. It's really hard. I'm a vet myself. I was only in for 5 years. So I wasn't as indoctrinated, as you will, but my husband, who was in for 20 years, he was actually my first client for my company. So I know this stuff works. He got a job. Yay! So super excited for him, but it's hard. Depending on the rank, when they would walk into a room, people would jump up, start saluting and scream out things. And then when they get out, they walk into a room and nobody cares. So between that and how do I fit my resume, how do I tell people what I did when all I know are 300 acronyms and no one understands what that is. So we do a lot of training for that and help them do networking as well. Because when they're in the military, they don't do a lot of networking. You get promoted. You go before a board, you shake some hands, you kiss some babies, but there's no strategy. So we are trying to help them learn how to do that. So that's what I'm working on right now. That's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. You know, and I think it is true, you know, as we all kind of transform our lives into the next thing, you know, it could be kind of daunting because we're like, what do you mean nobody knows what, you know, I'm saying, because I'm so used to talking in jargon. Right.
Exactly. That's exactly it. And how many of us go out into the world and then look at other people like they're strange because they don't understand what we're talking about. Because in your mind, all you're thinking is, everybody knows this. Trust me, nobody knows this. So it can be tough. It can be tough walking around. And then you have to deal with a lot of it is psychological as well, especially if you've been in something, whether it's been corporate or the military for over 20 plus years. You really have to change your mindset to something different. And that can be really tough if you don't know how. It's literally like being dropped off in the middle of a foreign country and you don't speak the language.
Right.
Yeah, that's tough.
Well, and I think a lot of times we just forget. We get really comfortable in our environment, whatever that environment is. And then we get out of that and we expect everyone to be kind of reacting the same way. You know, I know it just happened to me. It was so funny, you know, because we just don't realize when we've gone and crossed over that line.
Exactly. And sometimes that line gets so blurry and you're just not sure what happened. Because I was in the hospitality industry for like 15 years. And when I left the hospitality industry, I was stunned. Everyone's not nice. I couldn't believe that. Really? People don't say hello when you come in the door? How rude. I think I'll start a company.
I know. People are like, you talk to yourself? I'm like, well, I answer too, because that would be so rude if I didn't answer myself.
Exactly.
I know. I was at this little gym because my husband and my son and I were like, all right, we got to lose some weight.
Yeah.
back issues. You know, at 51, you start going, okay, Tonya's got to do something different. So,
Sure.
so we went into, and they had that a little table set up, and these ladies were all in the network marketing.
Oh gosh, yes.
And I'm like, oh, that looks good, and well, we should meet. And I expected them to go, oh my God, I can't believe it. Oh my God, yeah, instead they're like, okay, here, fill out this little form. I'm like, fill out a form? What?
Huh?
Who are you talking to? They're like, yeah, they don't.
I guess we all have that "do you know who I am" moment. And it's so incredibly sad when you realize they don't know, and worse yet, they don't care.
And it goes the other way, because I see speakers having issues with the fame part, right? It just means people know you, that
Sure.
way they can hire you, and you can change their life. And I was on an airplane one time, and they were like literally pulling off the luggage, and a guy like 3 rows ahead of me turned around and saw me, and he jumps and he goes, oh my gosh, you're that speaker person, Tonya's something. And I'm like, yes. And everyone's like looking at me at this point. They're like, should we talk to her? Should we ask her for a photograph?
Should we take a picture?
And I'm like, all right, come on, let's move. It's okay. Come on, let's get off the plane. Run in the back of the plane, doesn't understand. Let's move it.
Yeah. But like you said, the one button you have is that button of, what is it? Yes. I don't think I will ever get there, because I surprise me every day. Every day that I wake up and actually make it to the gym on time, I'm like, yay me, I should get my autograph or something. So yeah, I don't think I will probably get there, but those folks, and it's hard to do, because it is a mindset. I wonder if that becomes, the big new thing now is not coddling your children to pieces or whatever. So I wonder if it becomes my mommy said I was great my whole life, so guess what? I'm great. And you need to know that. So
yeah, you meet all kinds, that's for sure. And it's interesting with our youth, right? Because as millennials, they expect to earn greatness now. They don't want to wait until they're our age or older.
Oh no.
And I love that approach, but then comes that moment where you're like, well, you got to do something for it.
Yeah. I used to tell my kids growing up, no one is looking for a 16-year-old CEO. So unless you're going to start your own business, they're not looking for you. So let's pull it together. And like you said, they forget about I need to learn how to introduce myself. I need to learn how to fill out my own resume. I need to actually go in and learn how to talk to someone, shake their hand, look them in the eye, random things that you think everyone knows. But it's a thing that we've lost. And it's a thing, though, that needs to come back. And so my poor children, so if anyone who runs into a Smith child, I either apologize or you're welcome. So there it is.
Exactly. Well, and as you start looking, I've got friends. I've got this young man, and I just adore him. He's in Nigeria. He's built this huge online community. And the other day I found out he's only 18, because I was like, well, why don't you do that? And then I realized he's only 18.
Yeah.
Give him a break,
Yeah, exactly. You're only 18. What have you been doing with your life? Yeah. But then you look back, what were you doing when you were 18?
Right.
Yeah, let's not.
Yeah. It needs to go away. So let's not talk about it anymore.
Exactly. So here we are now getting it done, and kudos to the guys that are 19 and some of the kids that are even younger that are doing it so early. I guess I had other randomness going on at the time. My mindset just was not there. I was not there, but better late than not at all, huh?
Exactly. So I know you do a lot of Facebook Lives and everything. Was that a challenge to get going, or were you surprised that it was as easy as it is?
Yes. And yes, it was a challenge to get going. I wasn't the one I didn't want anybody to see me. I didn't want to put my face on my business card. I was very happy just being a voice, and that's fine. But just through people, come on, Rick, do it. I was like, fine, mostly do it to get them off my back. But who knew it was going to take off the way that it has? And so now it has turned into a book. It has turned into some other projects that I had no idea what happened. So yeah, the challenge was crazy. But I look back now because I started doing it in December of 2017. I cannot believe here we are, you know, almost in May, first of all. You know what that means? Christmas is almost coming. Just saying. Buy those presents now. But here it is. We've had over, you know, 10,000, 11,000 views, and it's just growing, and it's become something that I never knew. So yeah, it was a challenge, but if I had to do it over again, yeah, no, it'd still be a challenge.
I tell people, just start. Just start. Because you just never know. They want to have it all figured out. And where is it going to go? And where's this, road going? And I'm like, you don't know. You got to start it. See where it goes. Yeah. Who knows where it's going to go?
Yeah. What's that adage about the journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step? And that is so true. Step out there. Do it afraid, but do it. Because I tell people all the time, you never know who's waiting for you.
Exactly. And what you yourself will transform. I always love showing people my transformation and how I went from an introvert, people are like, what? And, but that's, everyone has their journey. And a lot of times you just got to shake off what.
Oh, sure.
Have you ever heard of the donkey story about shaking it off?
No.
Oh my gosh, it's so fabulous. I just heard it the other day, and like a whole group of people know it. And I think it's mostly Australians, but we'll just give it.
Well, there's that.
Exactly. And so it's this a farmer who has this really old donkey, and the donkey fell into a well that was open, fell down, and it was so far down there, and the farmer was like, went and got all of his friends, and they went over, and they're like, I don't know how to get this guy out. He said, well, he's really old. Let's just fill it up.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, so the story is like, oh my God, this is a horrible story.
Exactly.
So then they start shoveling in, the dirt, to cover the donkey up, who's alive, right? I'm like, oh my God, this is getting worse. And the donkey starts yelling and screaming, hey, what, stop? And then all of a sudden he stops. And they still shoveling, and there's no sound, and they look down, and with every dump of soil, the donkey would land on its back, it would shake it off, it would go to its feet, and it would step up onto the new soil. So pretty soon they kept putting the soil, in there, and pretty soon he was able to just walk out. Get out of that hole.
That's such a great story. But then I wondered this. What were those people shoveling in? What were they thinking when the donkey got up and walked out?
Right. Hey! Exactly. I love it.
That's neat.
Yeah. Right? Oh my gosh. Well, I adore you. So tell us, what are we going to give our amazing listeners today?
Thank you so much for this, Tonya. It's been so fun. First of all, let's tell everybody that's watching, go get your pen, not the one in the drawer that doesn't write, but find you one that writes, and get a piece of paper because you're going to want to write this down. So I want everybody to send me an email. And on that email, just put down free offer. And the email address is rsmith, S-M-I-T-H, at Stratus, S-T-R-A-T-U-S, trains, Trains, all one word, .com. And when you send me your email, I'm going to send you back a 2-minute video that is just really going to change your day and change the way you see things. And hopefully it's something you'll be able to share with your friends.
Nice. Love it. You will want this video. So definitely do this like now. So rsmith at stratustrains.com. So
yes, ma'am.
Like now. So Rikki, I want you on over and over and over and over again.
I will be here whenever you want me. I'm super excited, and thank you so much for having me.
Yay. All righty, everyone. So get connected to Rikki. Go watch her shows it's Friday mornings, right?
Every Friday. It's actually at 1 o'clock Mountain Time. So yes.
1 o'clock Mountain Time, which is, 2 o'clock Central.
2 o'clock Central. and I don't know what time it is in Taiwan, but anyway.
Nice. All righty, everyone. Go connect with Rikki and get to know her. And we will see you on the next show on the Tonya Hofmann's Fabulous TV Show. Bye, everyone.
Bye.